Hello, guys. How are you? I hope you guys are doing great. I really do. I hope you guys are doing great. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you to you guys that are watching my videos and subscribing. You know what? Good news. I have over 500 subs. That's a good thing. I never thought I was going to get that many, you know. And I haven't put a lot of videos out there anyways. So I wasn't expecting that response, to be honest with you guys, because the things that I talk is not as interesting. I was talking about politics and stuff like that. It's just tracking, and but I'm glad. I'm very grateful for your support. Um, so so you will know what's going on right now with me. I'm planning to do another video about this my situation, but just really quick, okay? My truck. I had a white Freightliner 2015, broke down just recently, about 3 4 months ago, and my engine, one of the valves vent. So basically the engine was destroyed. So I was going to fix it. The lowest um, quote that I got from a good technician was $35,000. That was the lowest. If I was going to take to Freightliner and stuff like that, it was going to be around $50,000. So it didn't make sense for me to fix a truck that old, 10 years old, because there is other things that could come up and stuff like that. So anyways, I decided to buy a newer truck with uh, with warranty and stuff like that, a little bit over um, 300 about 360 70,000 miles. So I drove that truck for 3 months, and I put about a little bit over 20,000 miles, okay, in 3 months. As you guys know, I drive really very low miles, because I chase the good rates, the good loads. I usually I refuse to haul cheap loads. So that's the reason I put a little bit over 20,000 miles in my truck. So, and my coolant was getting lower all the time, and then when I put a lot of weight, every 100 miles coolant disappeared. So looks like it was leaking. But anyways, so I took it to the Salt Lake dealer. The first time they couldn't find anything. They just say, oh, you know what, it's just leaking. We tie some hose clamps and stuff like that. So okay. So when I start driving towards Texas, going through the mountains, Utah mountains, 100 miles, no more coolant. So my truck shut off. Anyways, somehow I managed to go to Fort Worth, Texas, because I had to deliver it. So as soon as I delivered my load, after about 11 gallons, 12 gallons of coolant, I took it to the dealer in Fort Worth, Texas. They couldn't find anything. 2 days to tell me the same BS. They couldn't find anything, right? So it upsets me because they charged me $800 for nothing. For nothing. Okay, that's how expensive this shit is. For the guys who are planning to come into this industry, that's how expensive this is. And my truck has warranty. Okay, however, the test doesn't cover, and that's the most expensive, for doing nothing, right? So anyways, so I got a load from Dallas to Ocala, and then from Ocala, I got out of there, and you know, it was like 37,000 pounds. So every 150, every 180 miles, I had to add 1.5 gallons, and that was the whole way. You know, for 1,000 miles, I got to pay over $4 a mile. So you know, it was okay. And then after Ocala, I got it out of there empty all the way up to Louisiana. From Louisiana, I got a load going to Dallas. But from Ocala to Louisiana, my coolant never fade, never disappear. It was, you know, it's like nothing happened. So that told me that my engine was the problem. It wasn't my radiator. So anyways, so from Dallas I went to Houston, and Houston I went to McCarty, and exactly what I was thinking. Those technicians, they told me, you know what, it's not your radiator, it's your engine. So I brought it back with a load from Houston to Salt Lake, which they pay me about a little bit over $3 a mile. So I came here, I delivered the load, and I took it to Freightliner. They were supposed to finish today, but they didn't. So now they're telling me there's gonna be tomorrow. So they removed the engine basically. Okay, they found out a liner and the head had a little crack, I guess. So they were going to put a new head. So, you know, I waste money, I waste time, and however, I'm going to have basically a new engine in my truck. So, you know, shit happens. But sometimes, or most of the times, it's for the better. So, and that's where we are right now, and that's the reason I'm doing this video. You know, and like I said, shit happens for a reason. So right now, a lot of people are complaining about what's going on, right? This is enough about my situation. Okay, now let's talk about what's going on, and you know, especially for my MAGA people, you know. How can I put it so you guys, I do not want you guys to take it the wrong way what I'm going to say. I am serious, okay? Very, very serious. This is no joke, okay? But first of all, I think I want to congratulate the 77 million people that voted for Donald Trump, because thanks to those guys, we have Donald Trump in the White House. All right, and you know who knew, like Donald Trump say, who knew that he was going to be the president again? You know, and I wish I could take credit, but I didn't. I can't, because I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for the Democrat candidate nor a Republican candidate. So I cannot take credit for it, and I'm not gonna jump in the wagon also. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. But however, I have to say to those people, thank you for your votes, because look what we have in the White House. You know, we have a president who is very smart. Oh shit, I have to drink water because I cannot even talk. But anyways, he is very smart, very kind, very empathic, or how do you say that? Empathetic or empathic, right? Has a lot of empathy for other people, very respectful. Um, I mean, he has all those qualities, all those um, attributes that no one in the history of the United States, no president had. So, I just wanna tell you guys, I have to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't vote. I should have cast my vote for this guy. But and kudos for the people who voted for this guy too. You know what I mean? Even though, okay, let's go back. Let's start talking. Let's go back and talk about the kind of president that we have in America at this time. Very clever, very smart, respectful, kind, lots of empathy for people, very humble, unbelievable humble, always supports, and the way he communicates, his communication skills is unbelievable, right? I wish I could communicate like him. I wish I could transfer my ideas, my feelings with the words that he used, and he does it so well, so damn well, that it is admirable how Donald Trump had that vision, because as you guys know, he was a Democrat. Well, I don't think he ever had any philosophical view. I don't think he ever believed in any ideology, but he always, when he was young, he always leaned towards Democrats, right? Towards the left. But the vision, his visionary brain, I don't know. I think he's a superhuman, because he changed political parties, right? So he was a Democrat before, and he changed, and he became a Republican, and he ran as a Republican, right? And what amazes me that he kind of knew that if he was going to run as a Democrat, he would never win, right? He would never become a president. But somehow he captured what the Republicans wanted. They want a leader, a true leader, someone who was going to take them to the final line, right? And was him, Somehow he captured the feeling, the anger, the resentment, the ignorance, the lack of education of 77 million people. He tapped on it. He's how can I describe, his sense of recognition, that he could read the mind of those people, of 77 million people plus, and basically channel, that anger, the hatred, the ignorance, the lack of education, because those people can barely, most of those can barely read. Even if those people, they know how to read, but they don't understand things, So he grabbed all those qualities from those people and use him, use it for his benefit. And there we have him. He became the president of the United States. Not once, twice. So when people, call him names, especially those Democrats, some Republicans, those liberals, those progressive people, those people insult him. Like they call him like, this president is dumb, he's an idiot, he's stupid, he's all those freaking names that they call him, right? Doesn't make sense, does it? Your critics, your criticism doesn't make any sense, because who before this president had the ability to, for instance, his cabinet, look what kind of people he pick and choose to help him out, to do the job for the Americans, to help him reach his goals, to become the richest president, right? To sell his paraphernalia, like those bitcoins, and get money from other countries, like get the airplane, $400 million airplane. Look at him. Somehow Donald Trump knew also that those people such as J.D. Vance and Hegseth and Marco Rubio in the Senate, you have this Noam Holmes or whatever is that name, that lady, and then you have Tulsi Gabbard. You have also in the Senate Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell. Look, you have all those guys, all those guys that before, when he was planning to run for president, he was playing with the idea, I want to become the president, I want to run for a president. And all those guys, they go watch the video, how they insult him, how they say he's a bad man, he's the worst human being, he's, oh my God, I cannot even repeat the things that those guys said. And his face on TV is recorded. And look at them now. Those guys, those same guys who were talking shit about the president before he was a president, now they are working for him. And they love him. If he asked them to jump, in group, like a team, they were like, how high, Mr. President? How high? This high, this high? Just tell us how high you want us to jump. So who has the ability to read people like Donald Trump? No one. he somehow he knew that all those people they name, and there is more people, like I'm talking about in the Senate and the Congress and in his cabinet, all the people in his cabinet. John F. Kennedy Jr. Imagine, somehow Donald Trump knew that those people are spineless, principleless, no principles, right? No ethics, no values, cowards. What else? Selfish, greedy. I don't think there is another president before him that did or done something like this guy did, or this guy is doing, right? I mean, look at it. You have all those crooks, in his cabinet, in the Senate, in the Congress. All those politicians, dishonest, unloyal, I mean, the worst quality. And he managed to put it together, all those guys. And they are working for him like one. You know what I mean? Everyone is doing what Donald Trump is telling them to do. I mean, who has that quality? You know what I mean? He has to be a special. I bet his IQ is over 400 at least. I mean, that's the minimum. 400 IQ. I think the genius recorded, I think it was 270, and this guy is from South Korea. Okay, 270. And in my opinion, Donald Trump at least 400 IQ. Okay, maybe more, maybe 500. Okay, easily, because, like I said, the ability to capture, to understand the needs of those 77 million people, it's not easy. How did he get it? How did he know that these people were very, very ignorant, very uneducated, right? Full of hatred, and I think the most important thing is that he understood that these people don't care about America. They just care about themselves, right? Selfish people. So they don't give a shit about the neighbor, about no one. And he understood that. And basically says, you know what, I'm here. I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do, to make your life better. And they believe him. How this guy managed to communicate his feelings, his goals, his hopes to these people. Only a genius can do that. And that's Donald Trump. Seriously, guys. So stop with this name calling, this insults. That's a fucking low thing for you guys, especially for those Democrats and those YouTubers, progressives and liberals and stuff like that. Let's stop with that bullshit and let's acknowledge that this guy is a genius. Okay, You know, I imagine Donald Trump when he talked to or, you know, all those um, like Lindsey Graham, like Hegseth and Marco Rubio, all those, you know, all those guys who support him and they are willing to die for him, right? I just imagine Donald Trump playing the flute and he becomes like a snake charm, right? So he plays the flute and all those snakes, because those guys are snakes. I mean, seriously, you know, because they used to talk shit about Trump, and now they are working for him. They said the nastiest things about this president, right? And now they are working for him. So, what other name can you call those guys? So, again, Donald Trump is playing the flute, and all those snakes around him are dancing. Imagine that, huh? Who has the ability to do that? Who can do that? Tell me. How can one man manage to control a bunch of snakes? Tell me about it. Huh? So when you guys started insulting him and calling him he's dumb, stupid, imbecile, stop. You know, wake up and smell the coffee. What are you guys talking about? What are we talking about? You know, he promised that he was going to finish the war between Russia and Ukraine. Done. Peace in the Middle East. Done. Eggs, the lowest prices of eggs in America. Done. You can even get eggs for free now. You know, you buy I don't know, sugar, and they will give you a dozen of eggs for free. Who can do that? You know, you go and buy diesel, especially we, the truckers, right? I am a trucker, and I know there is a bunch of MAGA in the trucking industry. You know, they go to buy diesel almost for free. They go and fix their trucks. They ask him, "Are you MAGA?" "Yes, sir." "I'm gonna fix your truck for free." Parts. "Are you MAGA?" "Yes, sir." "Okay, do you see my hat, red hat? Make America great again." "Okay, I'll pay 50% of the real price." I mean, see, they are getting the benefits. And I think I'm going to get the benefits too, you know, because he promised us that as soon as he gets the money from those tariffs, we going to be getting the money straight to our pocket. No taxes, nothing. That's going to be free money coming from Russia, China, you know, from all over the world. All those countries are gonna give the money to the president, and the president is gonna give it to us, right? So most likely, at the beginning of, maybe at the end of this year, or maybe at the beginning of next year, 2026, truckers are not going to be working anymore. We are not going to be driving anymore, because Donald Trump is going to give us money from the tariffs. I mean, can you fucking deny that he's brilliant? Think about it for a second. You know, maybe you need 2 seconds to think about it. Think while I'm drinking my water. Where did he get the idea that tariffs are going to be free for America? Where did he get the idea? Think about that. He's so brilliant. He came up with that shit. No one before him thought that way. No one. And I don't think there is no one is going to do it again, in the future. He came out with a bunch of ideas. You remember about the COVID-19, right? Let's take care with bleach. Imagine that. Fucking not even the doctors knew that. He knew it. He fucking knew it, how to take care of this virus. And the other thing is that one thing also that I admire is like he always takes responsibility for. Sometimes he makes mistakes. Well, I'm not gonna say he makes mistakes because he never does, right? The people around him, all those bunch of snakes around him, they make the mistakes. Like this headset piece of shit, right? He was drunk and he's talking about the things that the army was going to do, how we're gonna attack, when we're gonna attack. Remember that? Yeah, he is the piece of shit. That's what I say. It's a fucking snake. And he took responsibility for it. The president took responsibility. He says, it's my fault. I picked this guy. I'll make sure he doesn't do it again. When Tulsi Gabbard said, hey, there is no proof that Iran has is building nuclear weapons, right? What did he say? He came and said, no, she's wrong. She's wrong. Imagine that. She is the head of the intelligence. She's supposed to know, but she didn't know that. She was talking up her ass, Donald Trump came, clarified, said, no, she's wrong. Those guys, they have nuclear weapons. See? So he doesn't need those people. He's so smart that he doesn't need those people. It's just a protocol, like they have to have those people. They have to have the FBI, and one guy in charge of the FBI, the CIA, all those guys around him, but he doesn't need that. And he told us only him can resolve and make America great. By himself, no help. He doesn't need anyone. He can do that. And he's doing it because all those bunch of idiots that around him, they are no help. Because if Donald Trump tell him, hey, do this, they will go just like a butlers. Those guys are a bunch of butlers. Donald Trump knows everything. He's like playing chess, 3-4 steps ahead. Tell me, name one president that was able to do what Donald Trump is doing. Look what he's doing in the world. We have peace there, peace everywhere. Everybody's peaceful now. Nobody's doing anything. Everyone is lining up to kiss his ass. Imagine that. All those presidents are lining up to kiss his ass. I mean, who could do that, man? No one. And now, those countries, if they want to do something differently, he gets upset. Says, hey, don't fucking do that. He just called them straight up. Hey, Brazil, what are you doing? I don't want you to do business with China. And Brazilians go like, oh my gosh, yes, sir, you know, please, I'm gonna go to your country, I wanna kiss your ass. Just think about it. The power, the mindset, you know, how he can control everyone in the world, man. That's why we are so respected now. You know, everybody respects United States. Everybody wants to come to United States. You know, everyone, and everyone wants to take a picture of him. Everyone wants to wear the MAGA hat. You know, the shoes that he's selling. You know, the hats and shirts and shoes and tennis shoes. I mean, everything with his name on it. And most of those items are like gold, you know, gold in color. Everyone wants to have that. His coins. You know what I mean? So this guy, you like it or not, this guy is amazing. You know? Before we used to think like, oh, you know, especially those people who think, oh, he's doing bad things and he's corrupt and you know, and what are you guys talking about? What corruption? What is corruption? What are you talking about? The president defined corruption as someone who is stupid to take it when the opportunity comes. Basically, that's what he said. Remember when he said, hey, they want to give me an airplane, you know, I'll take it. I'm not stupid. Only a stupid person will refuse to receive a gift. Think about it. He's even changing the terms, you know, the meaning of the words. There is no corruption. He's doing it in plain sight, right? Everybody can see it. So how that can be a corruption? Corruption is when you hide things, right? When you do it like making sure that nobody can see it. That's corrupted. And that's a corruption. But he is doing it right in front of your freaking eyes. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Seriously. Okay? So he's making millions of dollars. Good for him. You know, that is teaching us how to make money. So, I don't know. Just, you know, there is so many things that I can say about this president that I would never finish talking about him, because sometimes I wonder, you know, I wanna kind of find out what he doesn't know. What is the things that he doesn't know? And I was researching, you know, he knows fucking everything. He knows everything. That's amazing. That's what I said. This guy is a 400, minimum 400 IQ. Minimum. Maybe 500. Maybe more. Who knows? You know, who knows? Who knows? So we should be grateful to those 77 million people that put him in the White House for the second time, you know. So those, even though those guys were so fucking ignorant, so, you know, uneducated, but they knew somehow, I don't know if they knew or Donald Trump knew about them. I'm kind of, you know, I don't know who, I think Donald Trump knew about them. So those guys vote for him, and thanks to them, we have this president, right? So when you guys say, hey, no, this guy's stupid, this guy is an idiot, this guy is an imbecile, and he's a dumbass, and I mean all those fucking name uh, callings, like childish shit that you guys are doing. You know, I just want to clarify something. Okay, I just want to be clear with you guys. Do you really think? Let me drink some water. Do you really think someone with those qualities that you guys are throwing at him, like imbecile, stupid, all those shit, right? I don't even want to repeat it because it makes me sick. Do you think someone with the qualities that you guys are attaching to him, accusing to him, is going to be able to get away with all the crimes that he committed? Do you really think so? I mean, he's being accused of many things. He's proven he's to be guilty. He was guilty of 34 felonies. 34, no 1, no 2, no 3, no 4, no 5, no 10, no 15, no 20, no 30. 34 felonies proven as guilty as charged, and he walked away. He not only walked away, you dumbasses. He became the president. What are you talking about? Huh? What are you talking about? His whole life, he never took responsibility. He always blamed somebody else. He never paid taxes. And he's the president. Come on. Are you guys that stupid? Honestly. I mean, look. Richard Nixon. He committed a crime, right? I mean, in comparison with what our president, Donald Trump, did, Richard Nixon did almost fucking nothing, and he got caught. So who is stupid? Who's the dumbass? Who's the imbecile? Richard Nixon, because he got caught. Bill Clinton, sexual encounter, 2 adults. He got caught. So a lot of people think Bill Clinton is so smart and so clever, Come on. In comparison to who? To Richard Nixon? But if you put, Donald Trump and Bill Clinton is nothing. He's so stupid. He got caught. Donald Trump never did it. Never paid for his crimes. Never. So what that tells you? That he's smart, he's clever. You know what I mean? He knows how to play the system. He's so good at it. He's so good. He's that good that all the Republicans now, all the MAGA people, think that doing those things are normal. You know, before we used to think like paying taxes is a good thing because, you know, that money can be used to fix the roads, to help poor people, to, you know, to subsidize hospitals, education, all those things, right? But now they think, hey, why are we going to pay taxes? You know, especially when a lot of those people now are telling you the education, why we are going to educate the people. Why? Look at them. Look at them. Very ignorant people, lack of education, and they made the greatest pick for the president of the United States. Imagine that. So why should we get education? Why? We don't need to be educated. Look at him. Thanks to those guys, we are going to live a better life. You know, America is going to be the number one. Every country is going to send us money, and we are going to live the beautiful life. We don't have to work anymore. Thanks to who? Say it. Thanks to who? I know you don't want to say it. It hurts, right? Yeah, me too. Me too, man. Me too. It is so hard for me to acknowledge that, to accept that I made a mistake. I should have voted. I didn't. So, anyways, we have this good president. You know, he's the greatest man ever walked the earth. You know, and we are so lucky to have him as a president. Of course, me as a grandparent, I have grandkids. I will not let him to watch my children. That's for sure. But who cares? You know, who cares? But that's one thing, I wouldn't do that, you know. And then if I had my company, I wouldn't hire him, you know, to work for me because his bankruptcies and all this bullshit, right? But still, he's the greatest president ever, you know. So, anyways, so I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you to MAGA that we have this president. We are witnessing something that is the greatest thing that ever happened to America. You know, and for those religious people, you know, that a lot of people say, oh, those hypocrites and stuff. No, those religious people, they know what's better. They know exactly, because they, you know, they are in constant contact with God. So they know what they're talking about. You know, when they said Donald Trump sent by God, it is. There is no doubt. And that's the reason those MAGA people are very, very adamant, very concerned also, that if Jesus Christ comes back, he must have his papers. Otherwise, he's not getting in. He has to come in, but the right way, legally. And where the order came from? Donald Trump. Everyone who wants to come to America has to do it the right way. Okay? Even Jesus. So, imagine that. For religious people, God is the top. And that's amazing. That's amazing. So, anyways, again, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, I was forgetting about it. You know, those guys who are criticizing Donald Trump about that he's the dumbest president ever, right? Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Do you fucking remember who was working for him a few months ago? Elon Musk. And he fucking paid him to work for him. Can you fucking imagine that? I mean, people said that Elon Musk is a genius, 160 IQ. And he was working for Donald Trump. And he paid him almost $300 million. Basically say, oh, Mr. President, I want to work for you because I want to be in the history books. I want to be remembered by everyone that I work for you. Please let me work. And Donald Trump says, nah, I don't need you, man. Can I give you $300 million? Okay, all right, come and work for me. And you fucking gonna deny that Donald Trump is smart? Is clever? Huh? So it is time to fucking wake up and accept that we have the greatest president in the history of the United States. He's the greatest. And this is the time of your life. This is the time of your life. So enjoy it. And fucking enjoy it. Stop criticizing. Enjoy your life. Because you are not going to see nothing in the future. Nothing like this. Because you never seen anything like this before. You can call your grandpa, your great grandpa. If they have memory, they will tell you. This is the best thing that ever happened to America. Okay? So, you haters, critics, Democrats, Republicans, progressive, liberals, independents, just shut the fuck up. Stop criticizing. Idolize this man. Okay? He's getting old. He's getting old. So just remember that. So this is your time to start, being like all those snakes around him. When presidents start playing the flute, you better start dancing. Okay? Enjoy it. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you for watching my video. If you are MAGA, subscribe to my channel. If you are no MAGA, subscribe to my channel. Because I have more things to talk about. Everything about our leader, our supreme leader. Okay? So, again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope you subscribe more, you share more, you send it to your friends. Now, if you have comments about what I say, please feel free. Feel free. This is a democracy. Feel free while you can. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And one other thing I want to say to you guys, the system, those people on top, rich people, they want us to fight. They want us to not get along between each other. It's convenient for them to see us fighting, accusing, blaming others for our own stupidity. So it is time to wake up. It is time to help each other. It is time to educate ourselves. Okay, understand better our history, because we are repeating history. We are. Read what happened in Chile, in Italy, in Germany, in all those countries where how dictators rise to power. So you thought was funny. Maybe you didn't. You know,